I think that his was fine, right?
Yeah, no, the bio for Jacob was on point. Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning so much about everyone that I didn't know. And every time I read, I'm like, this is so cool. This person's really cool.
Yeah, no, everybody over there at Fantasy Intervention is doing a killer job. And it's like, I'm just having fun with it. So like, I'm willing to throw those extra YouTube things on there. I'm willing to do all this extra stuff just because everybody else is doing so well for the team over there.
I was going to say, it's fine. I don't care that I'm tired. It doesn't even matter. I'd rather just grind it out for them. Everyone makes it so worth it.
No, I'm just motivated to keep on pushing, to be honest with you. And we're getting there. 300 followers on our page in like 3 days. That's insane.
It's awesome. It's so exciting. It's because everyone's like just pumping out the best art. The articles that came out the past like 3 days, Dave's, Taylor's, and Jacob's were so good.
Yeah, and Zach's too.
Zach's too. Yes, that's crazy.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let's go ahead and get this show kicked off. You ready?
Let's rock.
I don't want to delete these awards. I want to keep them up, but I can't. Let's do it.
I saved that document because I want to post them so that everyone can see what everyone won. I was like screenshotting the actual awards because the graphics were so cool. We have the best graphics ever. So
dude crushes the graphics. He absolutely crushes it. I love it.
Amazing.
All right, let's kick this episode off. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this.
This is Fantasy Intervention. Now here to intervene with your fantasy life, Chase Vernon.
What's going on, guys? Welcome on into Fantasy Intervention. We have another special episode coming at you guys because guess what? We have the playoffs. The playoffs are here. And I think we need to get a new intro, mate. Something that actually has your name in it with it too. So I don't have to keep on introducing you every week,
Maybe a Biggie Smalls song.
So I can't put like license stuff on there. We got banned from YouTube one of those times for doing the NSYNC Christmas songs for too long.
Why? Everyone loves Biggie.
They do, but then they ban me on YouTube because we're not authorized to have those songs.
Everyone's so sensitive these days.
No, but welcome on in, guys. We have the injury report coming at you all for the playoffs, of course. And then in addition to that, we're going to be taking a look into some of these teams, some of these matchups, try and give you guys the best kind of guesstimate as to what's going to happen for these games. And I'm very, very excited because I'm joined by the Stephie Smalls with only 2 L's, although she hasn't changed it yet on her name.
I don't know how to do that. And for some reason, I keep whenever I log in, I'm on the Join Our Circles StreamYard. So I just need to stop doing that. But when I make the quick shots, it's on there. But yeah, Stephie Smalls with 2 L's now. It's very exciting. It's a little sad though, because now I always go back to search my tweets if I want to pull up a receipt from someone saying something silly, and I can't pull it up because now my handle.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's really difficult to pull up, which is a little upsetting. I found that out today, so I was kind of bummed. But
that is kind of a bummer. But
yeah,
hey, it is what it is. You now got what you want. You got the name. And big shout out to Lord Don't Lose in the house, man. We need to get you on the show here soon. We need to get you on the show for sure here soon.
Oh yeah, I'm dying. I'm been begging him for a collab. He's awesome.
Let's do it. We got to get him part of the team, to be honest with you. Yeah. All right, so sitting there, we have an interesting matchup this upcoming weekend with this divisional round playoffs, right? And sitting there and looking at it, I mean, you did an excellent show sheet this week. This is probably one of the best ones you've done so far.
Wait till you get to the bottom of it.
I know, and then it's empty.
Thanks, Chase. Chase hasn't seen the last part, but it's okay.
Wait, the very last part? Wait, did you type in?
It's okay.
Oh, God. Yeah, the lack thereof at the very tail end of it.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right. We're
going to let it rock. I'm trying to find this so I can repost it on Join Our Circle quick because everyone's asking now. Yeah, no, I mean, but what's crazy is this is way more positive than last week's, even though I felt like the injuries didn't really make that big of a difference as much as I thought.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns won, so that was...
That's the one. It's so funny. If you'll see, I wrote like the Brown, it didn't even affect them, which is crazy because that's the one that I thought would have made the biggest impact. I was so worried about it.
Hey, we got a Giants fan in the house, Steph.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
You need to go join us on YouTube and hit subscribe, so that way your nameplate can actually pop up like Connor over here. So yeah, go to youtube.com/fantasy intervention and yeah, go subscribe so that way your name can actually pop up. We can see who you are. Oh, what's up? Hey, Nate. What's going on, Nate, in the chat?
Hey, Nate. How's
You were
it going?
criticizing my shower ice cream cone today, and I really don't appreciate that because it was a thing of beauty. It was a wonderful, magical thing. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this actual game or this slate. And let's talk about some of these injuries and what's going on with the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know if it's from all these shows or like all the typing I did today, but my eyes actually are starting to hurt from looking at the screen. Like, I have to turn the brightness down.
This girl grinds, y'all. This girl grinds non-stop.
I can't see anything. Why? Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like looking at research, trying to do an article on ACL tears because I feel like it's pretty relevant this season. So I'm trying to bang that out too on top of the Zeke article and everything else that's going on. But okay, the brightness is down. I think I'm ready.
You think you're ready? You're ready. We are now 7 minutes in the show and we haven't even gotten started yet. So
yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
My hair is obviously a mess. I'm obviously not. I'm not doing as well as normal.
Hey, Nate said you're a soggy mess. No, he's talking about my ice cream cone.
I am a soggy mess.
He's talking about my ice cream cone.
I'm quite literally drowning in these. So I am soggy and I am a mess. Yes.
Cheers.
Indeed.
Cheers.
You didn't see. I'm the $600 stimulus check. Chase is the $2,000 one.
I'm the 2,000. Girl, I'm far from that. Come on now. Far from that. You need a Gettleman beanie.
I know. I need one. I have a Gettleman bikini though.
Do you what?
I do. I have a Gettleman bikini top because I was right on one of my fantasy calls and I told him, I was like, if I'm right, you're sending me that bikini. And I was right. And then he sent me the bikini. It's great. I can't wait to wear it.
I'm so confused. We need to talk about this another time because I.
Okay, we'll stop talking about the Gettleman bikini.
I don't even know what's happening right now. I love it. This is my favorite show of the whole week. Like Wednesdays are right up there. Like I love having my guests on Wednesdays and stuff. This one is the one where we actually get to kick back. We get to talk pure football, but it's, I actually get to have some fun with it. The other one's kind of more scripted. So this one's fun for me.
Yeah.
All right. So talking about it, we have the Rams and we have the Packers, right?
Yeah.
And there's some major injuries over there on the Rams side of things, right? Like they're kind of like just destroyed looking at their injury report.
Yeah. And like, I know we said it last week and I ended up being very wrong about the Browns, but like when I say like, these are some serious injuries that are actually going to be a problem. Like Kupp, so he has a knee injury. It's supposed to be just a knee contusion. It's nothing major, but at the end of the game last week, he was like limping off the field. So he obviously is going to need to rest that. I don't think he's going to practice. Like he'll be limited, I'm sure. Today he was, right? No, he didn't practice today. So
no, he did not practice.
It's a little bit more concerning always when it's a do not practice. But then again, you have to realize they're playing the Green Bay Packers, which is a 1 seed, and they really need everyone to be healthy. So they're going to rest these guys as much as possible, especially with the Rams. Like they need these guys to be ready to go. And Kupp, he's had a phenomenal season. I mean, they really do need him. He's a dynamic player for that team.
I mean, who's going to be throwing on the ball, though? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Hashtag analysis.
So here's the hashtag analysis, respectfully. So here's the problem is Wolford, whatever his name
Wolford.
is. Yeah. He started his second consecutive NFL game. I was kind of pumped for him. I joked last week that Goff was going to lose his job, and at that time, basically what it came down to, I was reading interviews and he was just healthier than Goff, which is crazy because then he had 3 completions and was taken out of the game because Jamal Adams hit him pretty hard in the head. He actually was rushed to the hospital.
He looked like a child. Like he looked like a child getting hit by Jamal Adams. That was crazy.
Yeah, it actually was almost worse than when Andy Dalton got hit. Like that guy got knocked. He got knocked too. But they're saying that it's a neck injury. It's kind of limited what they're adding. I would assume that there has to be some kind of concussion involvement with the neck and the way that he got hit. But he could probably maybe be back. I don't know. They're in a bad place. I mean, with him getting injured like that, they put him on. He was on observation when he got to the hospital, so it was nothing serious. He had imaging done, and it was all negative. So if he can rest and be okay for the game, they might end up going with him, because I don't know if anyone saw the picture that was tweeted of Goff's thumb.
No, I missed it.
It was so swollen and disgusting. Like, he was not healed. He was not ready to go in that game. But he had full participation today. So he must have done better. I mean, the thumb is something, had he not played that game, I'm sure he probably would have healed by the next day. Like, it was like make or break between a couple of days. You see guys get finger surgeries all the time during the season. They play 2 days later. So just the concern is that it's on his throwing hand. But I always joke he can't throw that well anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So they just need him in the game to get stuff done. So things look good for him right now. It's just, I don't know if they're kind of fibbing about it a little bit, but I haven't seen anything too negative about him yet.
And real quick, I do want to address this question because Connor was asking about high of 33 degrees in Green Bay for Saturday. I haven't really read the weather report. I don't know what the precipitation percentages are. However, we had Chris Allen on, who is an absolute genius. I mean, this guy is just flat out brilliant. And he talked about how cold doesn't actually affect the impact of the fantasy implications when it's actually cold outside. Like, it doesn't impact the receiver's ability to catch as much. And honestly, I thought that it did. But I'm going to trust whatever this guy says, because this guy is absolutely brilliant. Go check him out on Twitter. I don't have his handle in front of me, but it's Chris Allen. If you want to follow him and you don't have it, just message me and I'll send it over to you, or tag me in a post.
The idea for me, some of these injuries too, they always say, like, I mean, maybe everyone's thumb will feel a little bit better with the cold, or sometimes they get aggravated a little bit more during with the heat. So maybe it'll be like an ice pack for everyone. But I mean, they're going to Lambeau. This is a bad situation here. And it kind of gets worse too, because then you keep going down my show notes, right? And the next name is a huge one. It's Aaron Donald. So
yeah, they need to have defense in order to win this game. And Aaron Donald, like, this is a huge, huge deal if he doesn't play. Now, I know that they said he's likely, but what's going on with that?
Yeah, so he got injured. I had to go back and rewatch this because I didn't get to see that. He was hurt on a tackle with Wilson. The way that he fell, he hurt his ribs, basically. He fell on Wilson's knee. It was a very bizarre scenario. If you go back and watch it, I watched it in slow-mo and I was so confused what was happening. I mean, it was a huge play for them. It broke up a pass that would have definitely went to Metcalf. He was wide open all the way down the field. So it was a good play, but it was also extremely costly because you need him. So I think that he will be okay. What they'll end up probably doing is lidocaine the crap out of him. They'll put some extra gear on, when you see them come out and they look like they have a bulletproof vest on. He'll probably have one of those on. His imaging was negative. So he's someone that don't even practice him this week is what, if I'm the Rams, I'm not practicing him. Maybe limited practice at the end of the
you don't need to.
Forget it. Just let the guy rest. Let him get better. Because those rib, I mean, we saw it all season. This is why these seasons that for some reason the rib injuries were wild, way more than I remember in the past. It might just be because I'm focusing more on injuries now, and I'm like, why do I keep seeing rib injuries? But it's definitely been something that's been plaguing the league a little bit. So,
is it too much of a low-hanging fruit to make a Tyrod Taylor joke, or what?
No, do it.
That was it.
That was the joke.
That was the joke. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we're sitting there, we're looking at some of these other weapons on the defensive side, and I'm looking at Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened with him?
So he was a possible concussion. It's pulling up today. He wasn't even listed, so he must have been full participation. They don't even have him on the injury report, which is bizarre unless they moved him to reserves, which they're not going to do off a concussion like that. So he should be fine. It looks like he should be. I didn't see him anywhere. So
I'm looking at it right now. He actually returned to the game. So he got evaluated for concussion. He returned to the game. So he is good to go.
Yeah, that game this weekend bored the crap out of me. I'm not going to lie to anyone. I ended up shutting it off. Like, I couldn't take it anymore.
I saw how much like shit you're talking about the game, and I was like, dude, I actually love this
really?
game. Like,
I can't stand the Seahawks. So I've only fallen asleep during one Super Bowl my entire life.
It was
in 2015, the Seahawks Super Bowl. They bore the shit out of me. They're boring. They're a boring team. I get bored. I don't know why.
Honestly, Troy, like this is the hat that Cooter got me, right? Paint the taint red. And it is so hot right now in my house. But my hair is just so terrible that I cannot take it off.
Just do it like this. This is what I do. This is like postseason. Like you guys can't see how bad it is, but I get yelled at for wearing my hair like this all the time. My mom's like, it's disgusting. And
I think it's cute.
Why I'm single. She's like, stop wearing your hair like that. No one's gonna
That's the reason?
Like, because I wear my hair like this? I'm already obnoxious. My
Mom, do you see my Twitter inbox? Okay.
Have you heard my mouth or what? There's plenty of reasons, and my hair is not one of them.
Oh God, I love it. Love it.
Oh,
All
it
right,
gets worse too.
It does get worse. It gets really bad.
Hold on, it's getting worse. I got that. See, guys, I can smile and give you misery now. I was so bad at it in the beginning of the season, but look at how well I can tell you this.
Dude, no, the worst part was how you approached your injury reports. You always led off like the worst thing possible. Like that was how we ended every show. It's like the worst injury on the entire slate. Like it was like we get done laughing and you're like, all right, we're done laughing now. We actually have to talk about something.
Everyone be serious. It's time to be serious. This is a serious injury. But so Cam Akers, he got back from a high ankle sprain. He was in this game, 131 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 2 other targets for 45 yards. But then they replaced him late in the game with Malcolm Brown. So to me, that sounds like limited practice. So they could have been doing one of 2 things. They could have known that they're winning that game, and then you're pulling him out to rest him, knowing that the team is not in good shape, and you might as well not break anyone else. So that's kind of what I think the thought process was there. I don't know that it has to completely do with the ankle, but that's what they're saying was the reason why he got pulled out. So I think they're just going to rest him. He practiced today, so I don't know why he wouldn't play. So at least that's positive. But you have to remember, I'm telling you, these high ankle sprains, that's the other thing. Between the high ankle sprains and the ribs, it's a nightmare.
I feel like with Cam Akers, it was more so the fact that they wanted the veteran in to close out the game with them. And
that's a good take.
Cam Akers actually fumbled the week before that. So, they didn't want a rookie carrying the ball late in the game when they have the ball or when they have the game in hand. So, I mean, that could be possible too.
Yeah,
it's definitely something to monitor.
I didn't even think of that actually. So I don't know if we see Xavier Jones at all too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, they're going to have to fight. The Packers defense has kind of been their problem this year. But this is going to be a tough game. I don't think there's anything trappy about this. I think the Packers are winning this game. It's going to come down to, coaching. But we've kind of seen the Rams falter a little bit from where they were at the beginning of the season and then take all these injuries, which their left guard is hurt too. He has an ankle injury. He left the game early. So they're just in a bad situation. And then you have the other side of things where Green Bay is extremely healthy. So it's going to be playing a handicap Rams team that's already not in the best position against the Green Bay Packers, who are basically healthy.
And Green Bay's been, dominant for the most part. Like this is something that's like they are not in a good spot. But if you sit there and you look at it, I mean, is there any chance in hell that the Rams can make it a game because their defense is just so dominant?
No.
Okay.
No, but I didn't do well calling. I'm trying to be more realistic this week since my calls on some games were not very good as the rest of my calls this season. But I think that they're just in a bad spot. I mean, Aaron Donald, these are names that are a problem. So, and the quarterback situation makes me uncomfortable. It kind of sucks too, because I hope what they're not doing is using Goff to win with no intention of him staying around. Like, are you just letting this guy get pummeled and have a fat thumb because you want to win? Or like, if he's hurt, he's hurt. That's a problem.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Bring in a guy off the street? You know, at this point, they would have had to brought somebody else. Who is it? Bortles. Bortles would be the replacement, I believe.
So freaking play Bortles. Who cares? I mean, we had how many backup quarterbacks played this season? There was like 7 on the Cowboys. McCoy.
Dude, that'd be crazy if Bortles came in this game and ended up taking it and running with it, and ended up crushing it, just like he did in 2017, I believe. Yeah. You know, when he brought Jacksonville to, I believe they made it to the AFC Championship. But that was kind of crazy. But that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool to watch, to be honest with you, especially against Green Bay.
I didn't see any roster, I didn't see them make any moves, so it's not like they're leaning that direction. I think Goff would have been completely fine for this week. I was just nervous when they put him in, but I think he's okay. I mean, he's going to have rebound swelling from playing with a post-surgical thumb that's on his throwing hand. So it's not the end of the world. He'll be fine. They probably just won't have him do much during practice. He's another one. Obviously, you're going to have to rest him, but he can't make any dumb decisions because he's going to have to play perfect to beat Green Bay.
Well, this is the lowest scoring game on the slate, right? So the next lowest scoring game is 50 points. They're at 45.5, and the Packers are favored by 7 points. So a whole touchdown, it's kind of a lot. 7.
What game last week was 11? They think this is the game?
Washington.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still a lot, for the playoffs, but the Browns one's actually -10, or +10. So that's interesting as well, but, we'll hop into that in a second. Are you you're obviously taking the Green Bay side on the 7-point spread. And are you going to take the over or the under of 45.5? That's about 15 to 22 or so, or 15 to 27.
I'm taking the over in this game. Only because I think that this is a game that Green Bay could go off a little bit. And I think that score could very much get higher just due to the talent and what they've been doing over there. So I would take the over this game. I'm sure I will end up being wrong, but
I'll take it. I'll roll with it. No, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's you can't pass on the Packers either. So it's pretty much going to be they would have to essentially blow them out. I just don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to take the under.
Pass on the Packers, but the Rams also can barely pass, so it's okay.
Yeah, but they can run. I mean, it's all dependent on
Cam Akers. I mean, I just hate when Goff throws downhill. I'm tired.
We have been working nonstop, by the way.
Nonstop grinding so hard, but when he throws downfield, it's just scary a little bit. He's been doing a little better though. I will give him credit. I don't like to trash too hard unless it's a team in the NFC East that's not the Giants.
Well, how's Green Bay looking? Since we're
on this good. I mean, they're pretty healthy. The only non-full participation was from Koki. Am I saying that right? Kingsley, the defensive lineman. He has a concussion. It doesn't look like he's going to be cleared. So I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be. Their defense is already as is. And then you have King with an Achilles injury, Lazard, oblique and wrist. Tight end Lewis has a knee issue. The other wide receiver, again, this doesn't really, St. Brown is a little banged up, but I don't think that he would have been a huge playmaker this game regardless. And then the offensive tackle Wagner. So
yeah,
these are all things where they all were played full participation. They're just listed there. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. They're probably going to play. So let's go ahead and hop on to the next game. We have the Ravens and the Bills.
Yeah.
This is an interesting game. This is probably my favorite game in the whole slate, to be honest with you. I mean, we talked about some high-powered offenses. Lamar Jackson's starting to hit his receivers downfield a little more often.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen's looking like a king. The Bills' defense has actually been majorly improved as of late. Same thing.
Yeah, I thought they
with the
looked.
Ravens,
It's so crazy that you say that because I almost tweeted, but I didn't want to stir the pot because I was already stirring the pot like a psychopath, like normal. And but I almost said, "Oh, the Bills have a bad defense, right? Like they played great. What are you talking about? They had a good game. Everyone needs to hop off their." And I think that everyone just wants to be super critical. Like their defense played well last week. Just leave them alone, okay? You just don't want them to win the Super Bowl. You're salty.
Is there anybody that is going to affect this game injury wise though? I mean, sitting there and looking at it, it's looking pretty clean across the slate.
Yeah, I mean, so they're losing Moss. He's out the rest of the season, no shot. He was carted out during that game. I don't know that that's the biggest loss. He's a great player. It'd be nice to have him, but he will not be there. But he's definitely going to be back for training camp. And again, you're not going to lose. Do they really need him right now? Or are you going to just risk him getting more injured? No, just bench him and then play him next year. So for this, it makes more sense to take care of your player than they're in a good place right now, I think. So they can take the risks with him sitting it out.
And Devin Singletary's been fine. I mean, not great, but he's been fine.
Yeah. He's definitely been picking up a little bit slack too. I think he's been doing a good job over there.
And then Antonio Williams has looked like a god.
Yeah. Shockingly to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where this guy came from, to be honest with you. I actually need to look.
Where did he come from, sir?
Well, he reverted back to the practice squad as of Monday, but I need to look into him a little bit more for the DFS slate because that makes things interesting. I mean, that was the 4th, so
it's probably kind of interesting. I didn't look at what changes they made, but what is that?
Sorry. Those are the Jets that go over your head. That one's just a little louder than normal.
Jeez. The Jets need to be quiet. We're on a live.
Yeah, it's the only Jets that actually matter, But
yep. I bet on the Bills 6 weeks ago. So I feel you. Sleeper 8, not NYC.
It was kind of funny, putting Josh Allen as my dynasty quarterback 3 before the season started and how much hate I got. So I actually, because the echo chamber that exists on Twitter, I actually moved him back to quarterback 4 behind Russell Wilson just because everybody was yelling at me so hard. And and I now I'm like, yeah, what's up, motherfuckers? He is quarterback 2 or 3 now. He is.
That's going to be me next season with Zeke. And I'm going to literally end everyone's life after I am going to be so obnoxious when I end up being right about him, but it's fine. You guys can read my article. It's coming out soon. I'm almost done.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I put a lot of effort into it. And it's very negative. So I don't know what to tell people. It's not happy-go-lucky like the Deshaun Watson article at all. It's not the kindest article, but it's good, I think.
No, man, Zeke is just tough. I think he's gonna be underpriced, to be honest with you, but it's still close. But let's sit here and let's look at this game because we have, Peters, with his back issues and Judson, I guess he was sick. What's going on over there? Is anybody going to miss this game outside of Moss?
So the only person that I got a little worried about, and this is just me being just, I can't even think of the word right now. If this was 3 weeks ago, I would come up with the word that I wanted to get. But this is just me being skeptical of the scenario. I think that Fluker, with his knee injury, they did elevate someone from the practice squad since he got injured. He was limited practice today, which makes me think he will play. As long as that limited practice doesn't change, he should be in. But makes me think that it might be a little bit more serious than they're leading on.
Anybody from the Bills that, could be missing time? What's up with Beasley?
Yeah, Beasley. So Beasley's cool. So I was reading an article today. So again, the Bills, like I was saying, they kind of have cushion here a little bit, I think. So they have the ability to put people in limited practice, even if they have a minor cramp, they're going to put them on limited practice because they can. They have the luxury to do so. So when teams have the luxury to do so, they're going to do it. So most of these names are, they're very big, but they have cushion there because they can rest them and they're still going to perform very well. So Beasley, he has a knee injury. He actually just came. He was saying today in an interview, or maybe it just came out today, that basically he made up his mind. He's playing. It was more painful to sit that one game watching them and not play than whatever was going on. So he wants to play. I think he will play. The guy's having his best season of his entire career. Everything he's hitting, everything is a new high for him. I think that he'll play the game, and he'll probably crush it too, knowing that he's doing well. I think that he will end up being a pretty good. Like, I would maybe start him in DFS this week.
He's an interesting play for DFS. I mean, the implied point total is 50 points. Meanwhile, they're sitting there and they're looking at it, and it's only a 2.5 point, over under, or I'm sorry, 2.5 point spread. So, touchdowns to be had on both sides, but I honestly think it's going to be over 50. Like, I think it's almost a lock to be over 50.
Yeah, it's hard. So this one could go either way. I think this could either be a low-scoring game or it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I'm leaning towards high because the Ravens and the Bills they tend to have higher-scoring games, no?
I mean, yeah, when was the last time the Bills actually had a game below like 30 points? I don't have it up in front of me, but
sick of them. What did they beat the Dolphins by 56 or something insane?
Yeah, it's crazy.
The Giants didn't even score 56 points this season.
The thing that worries me, or I guess not worries me, but gets me a little bit excited, is the fact that Marlon Humphrey, he's a very physical slot corner. However, Cole Beasley doesn't ever get touched. So can Marlon Humphrey and his agility keep up with Cole Beasley, or is Cole Beasley just going to shred him to pieces? So I do like the Cole Beasley call. I mean, sitting there and looking at that, and Stephon Diggs, if Marcus Peters does play, if he doesn't play, I kind of like John Brown. Because if we're sitting there, we're looking at it like Jimmy Smith is going to have to pivot over to Stephon Diggs. Meanwhile, John Brown's been left with the 4th overall corner. I like that for John Brown. But, that's something for the Thursday show. That's something for our DFS Thursday show.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's gonna be interesting what ends up happening over there. I think Beasley, especially because he knows he's doing so well and he has this passion and he wants to play, and I could just see it being a game where he just takes no prisoners and just goes off, kind of.
So what's going on Sunday? Because I don't know. I'm looking at nothing.
You can't see it?
No, I'm just kidding. You like one person.
Oh, there's like nothing there. Yeah, it's okay because there's really not much going on.
Yeah.
The only side that I need to pull up the Chiefs injury report, but basically the thing with the Browns is I thought that these injuries were totally gonna cripple them, and then the Browns were like, no, F you, we're fine, weirdos, and just crushed, So now I'm less concerned about. Oh my God, why can I never say his name right? What is his name?
Patino?
Yeah. I'm less concerned about him not coming back. They're healthier than they were last week. So you look at the way that they played moving forward. They did make a couple roster changes. Maybe I think their cornerbacks are a little bit banged up. Jackson and Williams, one has a hamstring injury, one has a shoulder injury, but they did put Jackson on injury reserve. So he won't be back. Williams is expected to return, and Ward and Patino their statuses are kind of unknown with the COVID stuff. So it's in the air with them. Yeah,
they just got to test 5 days in a row of not, being positive for COVID, I guess. And
yeah,
they should be back in there.
And the thing with the Browns too is if they can win in the way that they did last week. So if they're capable of being very productive on the field, I think that you can maybe make sure that these players are okay, because should you advance, you want these guys. This is going to be something where you need these guys later on. So I think if they need to rest them a little bit, I feel better about it.
Wyatt Teller is so good. Wyatt Teller at the guard position.
Yeah.
Plays right guard. He is so good. And it is such a major impact when he's out. When he's in, he covered for Joel Bitonio. They just ended up running, pretty much pull plays and whatnot. So,
yeah. Oh
my God. I have the biggest man crush on Wyatt Teller at the guard position.
I think I was on Twitter harassing him maybe a couple months ago. I just want him to complete diets. So he's someone I definitely harass. I like the Browns O-line a lot. I just like the way it functions. There's something about it that's sexy.
The fans can feel Callahan. It's Callahan.
They're big boys. Those are some big boys too. And that one guy, what's his name? Maybe it might have been. He picked up Fletcher Cox. I watched him pick him up and throw him down. Fletcher Cox is on 1,000 pounds. What?
He's 1,000 pounds. He's a metric ton.
He picked him up. Ton. I watched him do it. It was awesome. I need to watch that game. I always mean it's on my list. I have a list of film that I want to cut so that everyone can see. But from like just funny plays, he picks Fletcher Cox basically up and crushes him. It's so crazy. Can you believe that? It's wild.
I did every time. Like I love watching this offensive line operate. Big shout out to Jamie in the chat.
Hey.
fantasyintervention.com/meet-Stephie-Smalls because she's putting together all these bios. It's beautiful. Absolutely love it.
It's cool. If you want to know, it's fun to check out too after you read the articles or even before you read an article with someone that wrote it because you kind of get a feel of like their vibe. I don't know. It's awesome. Jacob just wrote one that's really cool, and I think his bio coincides with it a little bit. You can tell what his focus is, what he likes a lot. So they're fun to check out if you guys haven't.
Yeah, fantasyintervention.com. Make sure you guys go also hit subscribe while you're on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/fantasyintervention. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess.
Do we talk about the Chiefs? Or you don't care?
Yeah, like who do we have with the Chiefs?
Okay, so the Chiefs are in the same scenario as the Bills and Green Bay. If they want to be cushiony and sit people during practice, they're going to do it. They basically listed everyone as questionable. Tyreek Hill has a hamstring injury, CH ankle, Mike Remmer's back, Watkins calf. Every single person is questionable here.
Is anybody actually like in danger of missing this?
No, it doesn't seem that way. I think they're doing the same thing. I didn't look into CEH. He always makes me nervous. I never trust his injury for some reason. Everything that happens with him is just sketchy.
What, CEH?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because that 1 week. It's just that 1 week that the coach said he was coming back, and then he did it, and I started him, and then I lost, and I was so sad.
I can't with you. I can't.
Well,
I can. I do it all the time, and it's fun.
Oh, wait. CH actually may not be in a good position. I don't know. We'll see. Over there is weird. They're being very hush. I don't know what the Chiefs think they're hiding. It's not a big deal. You guys are already agreed.
Well, it's so weird how close the Chiefs games have been so far this year and how they were not able to blow teams out. Very similar to like how the Bills did and whatnot. So, I mean, their biggest weakness is up against the run game. This could actually be like a Stephie Smalls trap game, as she likes to make sure that she has one a week.
You're right. It might be. I mean, if some of these injuries are worse than we think, the Browns are hot right now. I think that the league and everyone in the playoffs should be a little bit scared of them. I think, and again, I have been very tough on the Browns, so to say that is very hard for me. But what I saw last week is a team that wants to win. So when you have that, when the culture starts getting better, when the guys are getting along, when they're getting excited for each other, no one is making dumb comments, and I think that you could just see that there is a fire under their asses there. So I think that that's something to watch out for because they have the playmakers to make it happen. So I think if the Chiefs come into this game a little bit too cocky, it's not going to end pretty. And this will be the trap game of the week.
Look at Tennessee from last year. Tennessee got hot at the right time. Tannehill was, coming into the fold, and teams didn't really know how to defend him. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry's been an absolute monster. I mean, this could happen again. They got a two-headed monster over there in the run game, the Chiefs. I mean, their run defense isn't good. It's like the perfect matchup for the Browns. And it could end up paying big dividends if they can run the ball and if Bitonio actually does play this week. So
if he plays,
I'm actually very
think about them playing without him. So add him to the mix. We're talking it's going to be awesome for them. And the Chiefs are beatable. It's just the bottom line. I always think back, and I say this all the time if you guys listen, is that second Chiefs-Raiders game this season is all I needed to see to know that the Chiefs they're not the team that everyone gasses them up to be. I think that they're just beatable. I think that if you can outcoach them and you can outplay them, you will 100% beat them. I think it's possible. I don't think they're the team anymore that can't be beaten.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Pretty much all these matchups were close. I mean, even Atlanta almost beat them. So it is very, very interesting to see where the Chiefs are going to go. And if the Browns can beat them, do I think the Browns are going to win? Probably not, but I think it could be the recipe for a trap game.
Mm-hmm. If they slip up, like there can't be mistakes. It needs to be clean. If you start seeing penalties and stuff, that's when I get nervous for them. Well, I don't get nervous because I'm not rooting for them.
So let's go ahead and let's look at the other side of things with Ronald Jones. Or wait, with the next game. I'm sorry, with the next game with Ronald Jones. Like, what's going on with Ronald Jones? Because I didn't realize he got hurt in pregame up until the game already started.
Yeah, I actually didn't even see that, to be honest. So I have the injury report up here right now, and I don't see him on it. So that's why I was surprised when you said that. He's not even on here. So they have names on here. I mean, Evans is probably the biggest risk right now. He's questionable, and they're saying he's day to day. So
he was fine last week.
What?
He played last week.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's another situation where they're probably just, using him to rest and then make sure that he's ready for the game because he's been good for them. There's really no one else on here that's super concerning to me for Tampa Bay. I mean, even Shaq Barrett, he's back from COVID. Everyone's back from COVID. Minter. So it looks good for them over there. And then looking at Ronald Jones, this actually just came out, which is cool. So he had like some swelling today. Yeah, his quads were swelling on him. So they sat him. He practiced today. I don't think that's something to worry about too much.
Yeah, so I guess he tweaked it or whatever right before the game started, and it flared up. So that was actually a big reason as to why he didn't play on Sunday. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, I think that they'll rest him. I mean, they'll take as many interventions as they need to make sure that he's okay. They're going to basically ice the shit out of him. He'll like sit in an ice bath the entire week, and then he'll play. And probably you might see him just rotating out maybe a little bit more than he would, because again, you have to remember now this is when we switch from the season to postseason. So you have to make sure that you're also thinking for the future. So should you get past this game, is it worth using and abusing this player? You have to make sure that you're not pushing it too far, because then you end up in the next round and you're totally screwed because he's out for the rest of the season. So they have to just be careful with the way that they play them.
It's something that's where like, yeah, I think that he's definitely going to end up playing. And it's something as to where like, you're not going to be starting him anyways if they are playing, because of the fact that, New Orleans has one of the best run defenses in the NFL.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. And there's just no chance of him actually like, getting a significant workload along with being able to produce up against a very efficient defense overall.
Right.
As for the Saints side, Michael Thomas, he scored in his return. I believe Alvin Kamara looked good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did look good. I think he's okay. It's funny. They're the only team that really didn't update much about them today. But so looking at it, everyone is just questionable. That's what they keep doing. They all practice. No one really sat out. Latavius Murray is the only one that would maybe put a huge effect on them. But this game is actually, this should be a good game. There's no reason, there's nothing really prohibiting either of these teams from playing their best football. So I think that as long as Mike Evans and gets his rest, and I think that this will probably be maybe the best game, honestly.
I still like the Titans one.
The what?
I'm sorry, not the Titans, the Bills and the Ravens one.
I'm like, the Titans? How tired am I? I swear the Titans lost. I'm like, there's no way. You like the what game? I already forgot.
The Bills and the Ravens one. That's my game. I'm
that'll be. I think they're all good games. I mean, this is what ends up happening. Well, they're not all. I think that the Green Bay game is gonna be kind of sad.
Yeah, it will be. This is the second highest over/under total at 51.5, 52, depending on what site you go to. The other one was Kansas City Chiefs and the Browns. I was sitting at 56. I see it being a decent score, but I don't know if it's high scoring like that.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be the game that I take the under. Like, what do we think? I think the Saints will win, but then also I don't think Tampa Bay has an inability to win this game. I think that they just have to. Brady needs to listen to plays and then also act like Brady when he should. And consistency is really their problem to me. It's finding out. You never know who's going to get the ball over there. I hate starting players over there. It's just it's very frustrating.
Well, the first week that they played was week 1. The Saints dominated them 34-23, so that obviously hit the over on that one. Sitting there and looking at it, the last time they played was, where is it? 11-8, so that was probably like right around week 9, I guess, if I had to take a wild guess. That actually hit 41 points. The Saints also won that one 38-3. I think the Saints have the perfect recipe to beat Tom Brady. And honestly, like watching the game up against Washington, that defense looks so bad. I mean, when Taylor Heinicke can put up, a relevant amount of points on you,
yeah.
I mean, 23 points and get within 1 touchdown to, 2-point conversion.
I mean, I always think back that the Giants played them and it was Daniel Jones's possibly worst game of his entire career. And we still almost took that win. And the team was not anywhere where they were at the end of the season. Tampa Bay, it's easy to slip up. So I could see it being, I like the Saints right now too. Shout out to Cooter Doodle. But I like them right now. I think that they're making. I like Breeze too. I would love to see him succeed this time around, and then retire and go out with a W.
I agree with it. I think it's going to be very similar to the Ray Lewis corollary. I think we talked about that on Sunday, maybe.
Yeah.
You know where
what I accidentally just remembered, not accidentally, because I can't control when I have random thoughts. But I was doing so much work today for Join Our Circle that I totally forgot that I was drafting in one of my startup leagues, and I auto-picked Drew Brees, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
no.
Did I auto-pick Drew? You mean Drew Brees, who's literally not going to play football anymore? Like, are you kidding? I'm so pissed. That's the problem with these startups too. So it's my fault for not paying attention. It's not a big deal. I'll be fine. I had that was like one of my better drafts. So, but God damn it. Like Drew Brees, imagine that. I finally look at my phone and I see someone messaged me. They're like, oh,
what round was that?
Auto pick. Is everything okay? You just picked Brees. And I was like, shit.
What round?
So I was scared to look. 17. So it's not that bad.
Okay, no, you're fine.
It's
like, yeah, you're talking about,
I'm on
KJ Hamler at best.
I have 2 hours and 43 minutes, so it's okay.
Are you one of those people who milk the clock on every draft?
Like, what the hell? Now I'm starting. You're like picking from what? I don't even know who half these people are.
What's my favorite round?
Really?
We can actually go over some strategy after this.
Interesting.
We'll go over some strategy after this now. But I think that's going to end up winding or rounding it off for us, right? I don't think we have anything else that we need to cover for this.
No. It should be a good week. These teams are getting healthier with the exception of the Rams. Everyone's in a pretty good position. So
I'm excited. This is a good weekend for football.
Yeah, thank God. It's going to be so fun.
Oh,
There's no team that I loathe left, except for I would like the Ravens to just be done this week so I don't have to watch them anymore.
What, you hate on the Ravens that much?
Fight this week that I will hop off the Ravens. Like, I will leave them alone. I'll stop bullying them. I just don't want them to win this game.
No, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Josh Allen. I think the Bills are a great team. I thought it was a little bit too much of a bandwagon pick if I actually hopped on them this year, looking for a new team. So
yeah,
that was something I didn't like. But I wish the Ravens, out of the 2 teams that I didn't want to play each other, it was the Ravens and the Bills. Those are my 2 favorite teams left in the playoffs right now.
Well, surprise!
I know they're playing each other. Great. Yay. They'd have to at some point, anyways.
The Browns are good too. I'm actually kind of liking them now. Like, I'm excited for them. Their fans were so pumped, and it's to be a franchise that's losing and going through the drama that they did and to come through. But something that people are also forgetting, I must mention that Odell is hurt, so he's not playing, and they're having success. So that's all I want to say.
No, that makes perfect sense. All All right, go put on your gentleman bikini and have a good night. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it's a little too cold, I think. I think I'm gonna just probably miss my next pick and just keep doing articles.
Dude, we have so much going on over there at Fantasy
Oh my,
Intervention.
it's awesome. You guys have to definitely check us out on Twitter at @joinourcircle_.
Yeah, and fantasyintervention.com. And then, of course, make sure you guys hit subscribe on YouTube. I see all y'all on Periscope.
Right.
Periscope's going to be going down here shortly. I know Twitter is still going to be operating with the same, I guess, standards that Periscope had. But if you guys want to make sure you don't miss any of our content, go to youtube.com, youtube.com/fantasyintervention.
And that way you see everything too, because sometimes it's easy for stuff to get stuck in your feed. I feel like when you're scrolling through Twitter, and there's some cool stuff. The quick shots are awesome. I know.
We just got another compliment on the AJ Dillon pick too. So I mean, yeah. youtube.com/fantasyintervention. It's huge if you guys go over there and hit subscribe for us. Absolutely huge.
Come through, homies.
Come through. Now, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Stephie, where can we find you?
You can find me at Stephie Smalls with 2 L's.
That's
now I'm going to
Stephie
do it
Smalls.
with 2 L's because I think it's fun.
So just Stephie Smalls. Stephie Smalls with 2 L's.
I could just say
and you guys,
so.
you guys can come check out my content over at FF_intervention. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, the majority of my work that I've been putting in is for Join Our Circle _ or Fantasy Intervention. So hasn't been as out there as I was back a couple months ago. But I'm still publishing content, still trying to get shit out there on Twitter for you guys. So go check that out, FF_intervention.
And wait, we have a fun show tomorrow.
We have a great show tomorrow. We have a phenomenal show.
Amazing show tomorrow, guys. And I'm going to be the most serious I've been. You guys will not even believe it's me. You might think it's my twin sister that I don't have, because I am going to be a professional tomorrow.
I don't believe that.
Okay,
but Matt Miller, NFL draft scout, Matt Miller is coming to join us on the show tomorrow. He has over 250,000 followers over there on Twitter. Yeah, Matt Miller, NFL draft scout, is joining us on the show tomorrow with drinking and talking fantasy football. That's Dustin and Jake over there. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for tomorrow's show. That's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. If you don't want to miss it, make sure you go subscribe to youtube.com/fantasyintervention.
Right.
We appreciate you guys for coming in and joining us tonight. The comments were off the chain. We appreciate them all, every last one.
Every single one of you.
We really do. Steph and I were talking about how much we love the people that come in and join our show.
So much fun. Seriously. Like a blast. Like I was thinking today, I'm like, why don't I miss that guy? I'm like walking my dog at 7 a.m. Like, where the hell is Sugar Tits? Like, why am I looking for one of the listeners at 7 a.m.? Like, I was worried about him because I was going to text you, we should make Sugar Tits a moderator. That would be awesome. But I don't know where he's been, and I miss him, and that's all.
Sugar Tits, she misses you.
Well, he was there Sunday. I'm kind of being dramatic. It's just been a while.
I think he was in the show yesterday, too, at least for a minute.
Probably.
Anyways, we appreciate you guys for coming in, and thank you for letting us intervene with your fantasy football life. We're out.
Peace out.